What is going on, people? Feroncio here, and welcome back to the 6th episode of Oblivion Remastered walkthrough. What I did outside of the video to save some time was to go back to the market district and buy the other mage tallow candle from Aurelian Wee. In the process, I crafted a lot of restore magica potions and sold them to make more money. I kept about 2 of them for myself as I can duplicate them when I need it. Then I went to Edgar's discount spell across the street and bought all the spells he sold. From there, I went to the Red Diamond Jewelry and bought the Spectre ring from Handlock Redtooth. This ring is fantastic and will give you Chameleon 25% and 100% Feather. Increase both his sneak and security by 5 points, with the minor drawback of reducing your strength and endurance by 5 points. You don't have to buy the ring for the whole 8,125 gold, as later we will enchant items anyway, and possibly use a sigil stone for 100% chameleon. Next, I went to the mage guides in Coral, collected all the available soul gems, and bought the Soul Trap spell from Alberic Litton. Also in Coral, I went to the Chapel of Standar and bought the Fortify Strength spell from Orag Grabagal. Back to Fort Cragspiral, and I activated the Enchanted Altar, and once this is done, we need to go to the living area and check for a jewelry box on top of the bookcase at the side of the portal to the main level to collect the Pentamagic loop ring and equip it. So I need to show you guys this because this is not trivial and most people will miss this. So once you have everything upgraded, and I mean all the portals activated, you need to check here on the top of this bookcase for the jewelry box. This jewelry box will have this Pentamagic loop ring, which will grant kind of a 25 points, 5 points in each of your Fortify major schools of magic points. So it is really good, has no drawback, and of course he'll run out of charge, but eventually we'll have to recharge every single weapon and equipment that we are using, so it doesn't matter. So also this is the Spectre ring. It is really good, and once you equip it, you get Chameleon, and this is insane, really good. Besides that, will improve your sneak as well. You don't have to buy it because later on we're going to get Chameleon from Sigil Stones, and that is a permanent spell anyway, so it is way more strong. It's stronger because it'll give you 100% Chameleon. So you don't have to buy that if you don't have the money or don't want to spend the time duplicating and selling potions, but I did that outside of the video to save some time. The next thing you need to ensure is that you have duplicated your 2 biggest soul gems, because we're going to collect souls the very next, and we need this with enough quantity to populate those soul gems. We need that, so don't forget to duplicate the 2 highest soul gems that we have acquired and put them in your inventory. So the next thing you need to ensure is that you are at least level 25 in mysticism. So make sure that you go over here and you have at least level 25 in mysticism. If you don't, go to your magic, equip clairvoyance, go outside and start spamming clairvoyance until you level 25 in mysticism. You need that because if you are not level 25, you won't be able to cast Soul Trap. So, and we need Soul Trap in order to populate our soul gems. So this is an important step, and you can't pretty much avoid it. So you have to spend, it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to go outside and reach level 25. So it's a minor drawback. Now that we have everything ready, it is time to go fill our soul gems and in the process collect some enchanted items. So we'll need that. So from here, from the outside, we'll head to a place called Dunbarrow Cove that is not in the map. So it is all here back into Anvil, and it is under Castle Anvil. So we'll need to go to the Anvil Castle gate. And then head outside. And from here, we'll run to the other side of Castle Anvil. And we'll jump out from this rock here. So now, once I get close, we have this quest, say Dunbarrow Cove. It will appears that there is a cave. It might be worth a look. And the cave, it is right there. So that is where we need to go. But before we do that, I'll jump into the water and go to the other side so we have a waypoint. So once you see this Dunbarrow Cove discovered, then you can head back. And enter the cove. So from here, make sure we do have our soul trap ready, and more important, don't forget to use it. We really need to use this soul trap so we can collect all those souls that we need into our soul gem. So let's make sure that this is equipped. So I'm going to put this over here. Also, I'm going to get the skeleton just in case that something goes really bad and I need extra help. So with that, we are good. Let's make sure that we have the soul trap equipped, and let's start exploring this area. So first, this first outside area here, there are a couple of chests, but they normally don't have anything of value. Actually, this place don't have a lot of things of value, but we are here, so let's explore this. So we should have a couple of chests. That was chest number 1. This is chest number 2, and there is this book here, the locked room. This will add 1 to our security, so let's go read this book. And then we can put the book back because there is no need to have this book on us. So now that we already read the book, we are good. So let's go inside. Collect the neem root. And let's go inside the Dunbarrow Cove. Now, the important thing in here is that this place is infested by skeletons. I have followed the rumors and found Dunbarrow Cove. The place is overrun by skeletons, and I need to clear them. So the first thing we need to do is just clear this whole thing from skeletons. The important thing, folks, is try not to get overrun by the skeletons. Okay, so they hit hard, and two or three of them, it's going to be a problem. So we need to fight one at a time. There are not a lot of skeletons here, and you can pick them. Don't forget to use soul trap on them. And then capture their souls. We really need those souls. So you can see that there is a skeleton there. That is the captain. We need to be careful. The captain is the most dangerous guy in here. But we should have a couple of skellies over here. There is another one here. So trap him. And by the way, if you don't know how I got this bow, this is a bound bow, and how to get it is in a short link to the same playlist. So just go take a look. This is a really good bow and it does a lot of damage. Can also be enchanted. So it is a keeper. Now there are two other skellies down there. I think one of them have already sensed us and he is coming for us. So we're going to fight him over here. He is going to try to cross. Don't forget to use your soul trap. We really need the soul trap. So we have one more skeleton down there before we go for the captain. So let's see if we can just go and soul trap him. So now we should have some really good soul gems all filled up, although they are not filled up with large souls. At least they are filled up and we can use them for enchanting. Now this is the captain. You don't need to save the game. The game will give you a quick save. He is tough and it is really close place in there. So what I suggest is that try to lure the captain outside so we can fight him with some really good space. Yeah, and he is going to come after you. Oops, let's make sure that he has soul trap. And you can see that he is little more resistance than the rest, not counting that I am. Alright, so we need to trap him again. Oh. Now once he is done, we should have pretty much cleared the whole thing. Maybe we have one extra skeleton lost some other place. So let's check inside. So there is no more skeletons. So we still have one skeleton because, or at least one, because we have not cleared the whole thing. So let's go check here, see if we have more inside. Well, no skeletons here. So let's go check down to see if we find any more skeletons. I think there is one down here, if memory serves me well. So let's see where we should find this guy. Ah, there he is. All right, I think we are clear. Okay, so now we have cleared the whole Dunbarrow Cove, and what we need to do now is go speak to Dahlia Rackham at the Clarabella. So the first thing we need to do is get outside from here, so we can teleport and go talk to Clarabella. Go talk to Dahlia at the Clarabella, and Dahlia and the Clarabella should be docked in the Anvil docks. There is a very easy way down there. Once we are outside, we are free to teleport. Now we have a fast travel here to Dunbarrow Cove, but what we need to do is go to the Anvil Dock Gate.
How about mixing up some potions?
And then go outside. Then we're going to be at the docks. And we need to go all the way left, southeast, and
Hi there.
the Clarabella is this big seat-tub over here. Dahlia is inside. And we're going to buy an upgrade for the cove.
How are you today? Go ahead, please.
So the way that the cove works is pretty much like the way Frostcrag Spire works. It is kind of a residence and needs updated. So once we clear the whole cove, then we can buy upgrades for the place. I really don't care about the place. If you want, just go ahead and buy everything. But the most important thing you need is the Fletcher.
Pleasure doing business with you.
So again, I don't care about any of those other upgrades, but if you have the gold and feel fancy to spend or go back to that cave,
you've got to be kidding. Be seeing you.
Then go ahead and buy the updates. I don't want them, so I'm not spending the money. But we do need the Fletcher, because the Fletcher is going to sell us enchanted arrows. So now we go back, go to the Dunbarrow Cove again. And when we get in, the place it's going to be changed. If you buy all the other upgrades, you're going to have a lot of other people here around. But since I did not buy, the only person that I'm going to have, or the only upgrade, is in this area here. And we need to talk to this lady.
Go ahead, please.
And she can do a lot of things. First, she can train in marksman,
Knowledge is the key to success in any endeavor.
and this is going to improve, say a lot. 5 points extra in marksman, and I'm going to take this train because it's not really that expensive. So now I improve my marksman, why not? And next thing I'm going to do is barter with her and get
Have a
the
look
enchanted
around.
arrows.
You
So
won't
she
find
has
better prices in all Tamriel.
a lot of cool stuff. She has this arrow of blindness, and the arrow of blindness drain is sneak on the strike. The arrow of retreat drain fatigue. The arrow of stumbling paralyze. This is really, really powerful. And the tracer arrow does light on the strike. So the most important one of them is the arrow of stumbling, but of course just go ahead and buy one of each
Pleasure
one,
doing business with you.
because you guess it, we can duplicate
I let that
them.
go too cheaply. Pleasure doing business with you.
So now we
I
have
appreciate your business.
every single
Good day.
different arrows, and as the game progresses and we level up, we can come back to her and get different enchanting arrows. So but by now this is all we need here, and we ready to go back to Frostcrag Spire to start enchanting. And that is going to be something personal for you. You can do whatever you want to do with your character, but at least I'm going to show you how to do it. So from here we'll go all the way back to Frostcrag Spire. So all of this is to do content next. So the next episode we're actually going to follow the main quest, go all the way to the Oblivion Plain, to the Oblivion Tower, and get our first sigil stones. But first let's go and finish this episode with kind of a walkthrough of how enchanting works. I'm not going to go on how spellmaking works in this episode, but at least let's go check how enchanting works. So we have our bound bow. We need one piece of gear that can be either a weapon or armament, so the wrist items for example, or a bow. So let's use a bow. Then you need to add a soul gem. The bigger the soul gem, the better. So I'm going to use kind of a grand soul gem. And each soul gem have a special number of charges. Then you need to add something to the charge. So this soul gem can have up to 12 capacity of putting magic. So if we take this soul gem and put a greater soul gem, it will depend on the soul that is inside to how much we can get out of this. So, for example, I can put a damage health effect and say, all right, I want this bow to do 3 points of damage health, and that's going to take like 3 seconds for a total of 9 points of damage health. So this will leave me just 1 point to put another effect if I want. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use drain health, which it's going to drain. Drain is different than absorb, which is different than damage. So I'll explain the difference after this, but right now, drain is the one that costs the least amount of points into the capacity that we have for the soul gem. So we can use like drain health for 30 points. It's going to drain 10 points of health every 3 seconds, for every 1 second for 3 seconds, and this is going to give a total of 30 points of drain. Or I can do like 15 points of drain health for 2 seconds, and the first hit is going to give me 15 points, the second is going to give me 15 points. So this is a matter of playing with this to find out how much damage we can do with the least amount of points. So I can do 22 points of drain health in 2 sets of 11 for 3 points, or I can do 30 points for 5, or maybe even more, like 33 points for 5 points. So this is good. Once it's good, I can save my changes and then go for another effect. For example, let's say that I want to do shock damage on the bow. So a hit of 3 shock for 1 second give me 8 points. If I put 6 points, like 2 ticks of 3 points of shock, this is going to give me 11. And if I try to go 14, then I get 8 ticks, two ticks of 4 points of shock damage each time. So in the total, damage is going to be the first number multiplied by the second, but the first number tells how much damage you do with the hits. And of course, you can do a single hit, and that is no damage over time. Or you can use a area of effect, meaning, okay, I want this shock to not just hit this enemy, but also hit everything that is around in the area of 10 units. Let's say that is our meters. So the shock, it's going to hit not just the first target, but is also going to do an area of effect around it and may hit other enemies. As we progress and collect souls, there are bigger, so greater souls, then this number is going to increase, and we should be able to do more damage and with area effects or higher duration. But for now, I want this, for example, to be here, and then I'll need to have this at the maximum of 11, of 12, because I cannot do I want to have some space for the last one that I would add. So you can stack effects, and the last one will be like Soul Trap. I want to add Soul Trap, and I'm going to have Soul Trap for 1 second. There is no area in here, but you can add an area of effect, meaning you hit and you Soul Trap everything around in this area of effect. And once we are done with this, you can see that I have fulfilled all the 15 points that I have. This will do with the charges that we can do with this weapon until the weapon needs to be recharged. So next thing we need to do is just go name your enchantment or your weapon, and let's see that I want to call this Frostbite. And once I'm done, I can just create and do this enchantment. So the bow will now be called Frostbite, and will, for every single hit while it has charges, will drain health on strike first, then we'll do 4 points of shock damage for 1 second around 10 feet, and the last thing it's going to do, it's Soul Tripe on the strike, which means that we will be collecting souls with every single hit of the bow. I'm not going to do that with this bow, but for example, I can enchant the other bow and we can go test it just to see if this is going to work. So, and you can see that these souls are enchant or have petty souls inside. As we get better souls, then there will be more charges to this. So let's do this again. Let's do drain health, and let's do drain health for 5 points for about 5 seconds, and then let's do this shock damage for 4 points for about 2 seconds. Let's see if we can now. We cannot add an area of duration, so let's see if this works. Yeah, let's try that. And then let's do the soul trap for 1 second, and let's name this guy Frostbite, and let's see how that actually works. So now we enchant this. You created a new enchanted item, and when we go over here to the weapons, now we have Frostbite and drain health on strike for 5 points, shock damage on strike, and soul trap. And if we show the details, and it says it can use 10 times before we need to recharge that equipment. So what to do next with this? So what we're going to do is not just enchant the equipment, but also enchant some pieces of personal gear, like a hood, a chest piece, everything, because what I'm using at the moment is okay. It is really good, but it's just 2 pieces of equipment. We just have the shrouded armor and the shrouded hook, and we cannot even equip anything else because everything is in the shrouded armor. It is combined, so it is really good. It gives you some really good enchantments, but it is not everything that I want. So considering that I can enchant, for example, a hood, a torso, pants, shoes, wrist items, amulets, 2 rings, a shield, a weapon, and now we have enchanted armors. You can see that just 2 pieces of equipment, although this is a fantastic piece of equipment, it's not going to work. Besides that, there is the problem with magic. Magic is affected by the gear that you have. Right now, you can see down on the bottom of the screen that I have 87% spell effectiveness, and that is because I am using these pieces of armor. If I take them out and go back to my magic, now I have 100% spell effectiveness because I am not using anything that it's going to add weight on me. And that's why some pieces of equipment will have to be like, just a single blouse and just a single pants and a hood that they have basically no weight. This is very light, but even with this, I am losing about 13% of spell effectiveness. So we'll be playing with those numbers and making sure that we enchant our items in a proper way that will give 45 sneak, 45 illusion, but we don't have the penalties for wearing anything that weights and have less spell effectiveness. So folks, I am going to be wrapping up this episode here. In the next episode, I'm going to come back with a full piece of gear already done, with all the enchanting on them that we need to have, and we'll go after the main quest and go into the Oblivion Tower. I hope you have enjoyed this, and if you actually have enjoyed, please go ahead, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.